This episode finally reveals the one thing Pennywise never wanted you to know, his real origin. And after this, you'll never look at the clown the same way again. Today we're breaking down Welcome to Derry episode 7, the episode that finally uncovers Pennywise's backstory. If you missed the previous episode, the link is in the description. Now let's get into the story without wasting any time. The episode jumps back to 1908. We return to the same carnival where young Francis had come earlier, and now Pennywise the dancing clown is about to perform. Pennywise steps onto the stage and begins his act, and the kids absolutely love it. During the act, we learn something surprising. Pennywise actually had a wife who used to perform as a clown just like him, but she died. That concludes the first part of the show, and we even get another Andy Muschietti cameo. In the second part, Pennywise does his iconic dance, and all the kids rush onto the stage. They start pulling his wig and popping his balloons. One kid watches all of this from a distance. That kid is actually it. This was probably the first time it ever saw Pennywise, and maybe realized how easily children get attracted to him. After the performance, Pennywise removes his makeup. His real name is Bob Gray. Bob has a daughter named Ingrid, who helps him manage things backstage. Today, Ingrid puts on a clown costume for the first time. Bob loves it and immediately starts imagining both of them performing together in the next act. He even gives her a stage name, Periwinkle. But Ingrid looks sad when she hears it because Periwinkle used to be her mom's stage name. Bob tells her she can change it if she wants. Bob used to perform in a big circus where huge crowds came to watch, but now he's struggling in small-town carnivals. Still, he dreams of returning to the circus someday with an act no one has ever seen, and he wants Ingrid to be part of it. Hearing this makes her happy. Later that night, Bob is drinking alone when a child emerges from the forest, the same child from before. This is it in disguise. He says his parents are lost and asks Bob for help. Bob refuses at first because his next show is about to start, but then they both hear a scream from inside the woods. The child says it's his mother, so Bob rushes in with him. Soon after, carnival workers find Bob's handkerchief covered in blood. They assume wolves killed him. They give the news and the bloody cloth to Ingrid, who breaks down crying. So yes, it killed Bob, took on his clown form, and began using it to lure children. The story shifts back to the present, where a mob of white men arrives at the Black Spot, led by Clint. They demand the Black Spot owners hand over Hank and they'll leave. They also see Norm, a white girl who came to perform music there, and immediately tell her to leave. Dick tries telling them Hank isn't here and that they have the wrong information, but they refuse to listen. Hank comes out himself, not wanting anyone else to get hurt because of him. The black officers try to protect him and draw their guns. Clint tells his men to lower their weapons because they're leaving, but instead the mob locks the doors from outside and sets the place on fire. People trapped inside have no escape. Anyone who tries climbing out a window gets shot. Smoke fills the place, blinding everyone. Marge and Rich are stuck inside too. Dick starts seeing ghosts again. He suddenly remembers that water had been leaking under the icebox and rotting the wooden floor. Dick kicks it open to make an escape path. At first he plans to escape alone, but then he sees another ghost, Sesky. Dick calls out to her, even though his #1 rule was to never talk to ghosts. Inside, people are burning or suffocating. Pennywise appears, ready to feast on their fear. He grabs a woman and eats her, and Ronnie sees it happen. Dick carries Ronnie and sees Pennywise too. He had stayed behind because of the kids, and Sesky was trying to tell him something. Outside, the mob walks away, assuming everyone inside is dead. Malcolm Phil and Susie's father seems uneasy about what they've done. Dick guides Hank, Will, and Ronnie out through the hidden path. Then he calls Marge and Rich over, but before they can join him, the ceiling collapses. Rich puts Marge into a small crate, one designed to fit only a single person, and closes the lid, sacrificing himself for her. Rich finally admits he liked her from the first day of school, and Marge says she liked him too. Mr. Kurtz tries starting his car to escape, but it won't start. Suddenly he sees Ingrid dressed in clown makeup approaching him. He tells her to go home or he'll beat her with a belt. But Pennywise appears behind him and kills Kurtz with a butcher knife. The mob had found Hank because Ingrid gave them the information. She knew that seeing so much blood and fear would pull Pennywise out, and she wanted to meet him. She waves at him like she used to as a child. Pennywise tells her to go hug her father, even though he isn't her father. Ingrid hugs him anyway. Pennywise tells her she did well, but now that he's full, he's going back to sleep for 27 years. Ingrid grabs his hand, begging him not to leave. Pennywise gets angry. She realizes he isn't her father and asks what he did to Bob. Pennywise says, "I ate him, but he's still inside me." Then Pennywise shows her his Deadlights, the true form of it. Anyone who sees them loses control of their body. Ingrid begins floating in the air. Firefighters finally arrive. They find Marge inside the crate alive, but Rich is dead. Will and Ronnie are heartbroken. Only one other girl survived, and she has gone insane from the trauma. Ingrid is taken to the hospital. Henlon and Charlotte arrive. Will tells them Dick saved them. Henlon visits Dick, who tells him he talked to a ghost, and now all the ghosts are coming after him. He can even see the ghosts of his friends who died last night, demanding revenge. Hank is hiding in the woods. Charlotte tells Hank to remove his clothes. She'll drop them at the burned site so people assume Hank also died in the fire and close the case. Dick tells Henlon that Pennywise is gone. He can feel it. But he also discovered the location of a pillar. When he entered Daniel's mind, he learned that this pillar was buried with the tribe's war store chief. Sesky's ghost appears and Dick says they just need to follow her to the grave. Henlon asks Charlotte to hide Hank in his old Derry home. Since Pennywise is asleep, he won't be in danger. The public is told an electrical pole caused the fire at the Black Spot. Many Black community members died. Mr. Kurtz is declared dead too, and they also announce that fugitive Hank died in the fire. Meanwhile, the Native Americans hold a meeting. A massive tragedy has occurred. Pennywise has gone into a deep sleep after feeding. Last night alone, 23 people died, and before that, he had already taken 17 children. Every 27 years, this horror repeats, and they know the truth, but can't stop it. Their only duty is to protect the pillars so it can never escape Derry. One elder says, "All right then, see you all in 27 years. Charlotte prepares to help Hank escape town. She makes him wear her husband's uniform so neighbors think he's the husband. And anyway, the white townspeople don't pay enough attention to tell them apart. Marge and Ronnie visit Lily's home to tell her Rich died in the Black Spot fire. Lily is devastated. They go to the watchtower to collect Rich's belongings. Marge finds his little plane, the one he tried to fly to the main road but never succeeded. Meanwhile, the army digs at the location Dick mentioned and finally uncovers the pillar. They transport it to the base. Daniel sees this from afar. At the base, they drop the pillar into a furnace to destroy it. Henlon arrives and realizes General Shaw lied. They never intended to shrink. It's cage for war use? They wanted to destroy the cage completely and let Pennywise loose. The general believes the real threat to the country is its own people protests, uprisings, unrest. Fear, according to him, is the only way to control the nation. Henlon calls it madness, but Shaw refuses to listen and destroys the pillar. Down in the sewers, we see Pennywise. He was supposed to sleep for 27 years, but when the pillar was destroyed, he immediately wakes up. He goes straight to Will's house, shows him the deadlights, hypnotizes him, and the episode ends. And that's episode 7, absolutely wild. But the next episode is the season finale, and Pennywise is going to unleash pure chaos. Don't miss it. If you enjoyed the video, hit like and hype it up and drop a red balloon in the comments.